Are you ignoring the exact money trap Solomon warned about thousands of years ago? Because here's the brutal truth. Some of the financial mistakes you're making right now were already known in ancient times. And not just known, they were clearly warned against by the wisest and wealthiest man who ever lived. Solomon didn't just leave behind wisdom for kings and empires. He left behind financial survival codes that, when ignored, silently lead people to poverty, anxiety, and regret. The scary part? Most people are falling right into the traps he exposed. So today we're going to reveal 6 dangerous warnings from Solomon, timeless financial red flags that modern society continues to ignore. These aren't cliches, they are sharp ancient truths, and if you're wise enough to act on them, they might just change your life forever. Let's begin. Warning 1. Ignoring the value of wisdom. Wisdom is more precious than gold, more profitable than silver. That's not a motivational quote. That's Solomon laying out a fundamental financial truth. But let me ask you, when was the last time you invested in your own wisdom? Not in clothes, not in gadgets, not in comfort, but in understanding. Solomon saw this centuries ago. People obsess over money, yet they ignore the very thing that creates it. Today we see it everywhere. People spending more on designer shoes than they would ever spend on a book. People spending hours scrolling social media, but not 10 minutes learning how money works. People working 40 hours a week, but investing zero in the skills that would actually elevate their income. The truth? Wealth flows to the wise, always. Wisdom multiplies your time. It helps you avoid costly mistakes. It unlocks opportunities that others can't even recognize. And most importantly, wisdom teaches you how to keep what you earn. That's why Solomon didn't ask for riches. He asked for wisdom. And because of that choice, he received both. Here's the test. Look at your recent bank statement. How much went toward acquiring wisdom, mentorships, courses, books, coaching? If the answer is nothing, then the warning is sounding. You are walking blindfolded into the financial world. The rich don't fear money problems, they fear ignorance. And they pay any price to remove it. Warning 2, loving money more than purpose. Whoever loves money never has enough, Solomon once said. That line cuts deeper than most people realize, because he's not saying money is bad. He's saying idolizing money will destroy you. We see this everywhere. People with millions in the bank who are miserable, anxious, and addicted to chasing more. Entrepreneurs who sacrifice family, health, and ethics, not because they love building, but because they love money. But here's what Solomon knew. Money is a terrible master. It will use you, lie to you, and leave you empty if you put it above purpose. You were not born to chase numbers. You were born to build something meaningful. That might be a business, a movement, a legacy. But if your only motivation is zeros in a bank account, you will eventually burn out or self-destruct. Solomon's wealth wasn't a goal. It was a byproduct of aligning his life with wisdom, order, and purpose. That's why he remained powerful even in old age, because his wealth had depth. The modern world teaches, get rich quick, grind until you make it, secure the bag. But Solomon teaches, align your heart first, purpose before profit, meaning before money. So here's the application. Ask yourself, what's driving you? If all your goals are financial, you might already be poor, spiritually, mentally, and emotionally. But if you realign your pursuit toward impact, legacy, and integrity, then wealth becomes the result, not the obsession. Warning 3, trusting in wealth instead of in discipline. Here's one of Solomon's harshest truths. The fool devours all he has. Not some, not a portion, all. And don't think this only applies to the poor. Some of the most reckless financial habits in history were made by millionaires. Athletes, celebrities, lottery winners who gained more in a year than most people earn in a lifetime and lost it all in record time. Why? Because wealth without discipline is just a countdown to disaster. Money magnifies your habits. If you're careless with 100, you'll be reckless with 100,000. If you're impulsive with 1,000, you'll be dangerous with 1,000,000. Solomon wasn't impressed by how much someone had. He cared about how much they could manage. And that's why trusting in wealth, thinking I'll be okay once I earn more, is a fatal error. Because if you don't master money at your current level, you won't magically become wise at the next. So here's what you need to do. Cut unnecessary expenses, no matter how small. Automate savings so you're not relying on willpower. Live below your means, even if your income grows. Reinvest at least 20% of your income into assets or skills that increase future income. Discipline is the silent engine behind long-term wealth, and those who ignore it, waiting for a windfall or breakthrough, usually never see either. Solomon's warning is loud and clear. Control your habits, or your habits will control your destiny. Warning 4. Ignoring generational legacy. A good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children. Solomon wasn't talking about simply handing over cash. He was talking about building systems, values, infrastructure, a mindset of wealth that transcends generations. But today, most people don't think past next Friday. Their financial vision ends at the next paycheck, the next vacation, or the next impulse purchase. That's not wealth, that's survival. And survival is not a strategy. The tragic truth, many people spend their entire lives building wealth, only to have it vanish with their last breath, because they never taught anyone else how to carry the torch. Solomon built a kingdom, but more importantly, he built a legacy. He prepared his son. He passed down wisdom. He structured wealth with purpose. Modern millionaires understand this too. They invest in family trusts. They set up passive income streams. They teach their children about assets, compound interest, and value creation before the child even turns 10. Why? Because if you don't build for the second and third generation, you're not building wealth. You're just buying time. The poor think in days. The middle class thinks in months. The wealthy think in decades. So ask yourself right now, what are you building that will outlive you? And who are you teaching to carry it forward? Warning 5. Failing to diversify. Divide your portion among 7, even 8, Solomon wrote in Ecclesiastes, a timeless principle, long before Wall Street ever existed. In today's language, diversify, always. But what do most people do? They put everything into one job, one income source, one business idea, one stock, and then they're shocked when life or the market collapses it. You don't build stability by putting all your hopes in one basket. You build stability by creating pillars, multiple sources of strength that hold you up when one of them breaks. The ultra-wealthy live this out constantly. Real estate, dividend stocks, licensing income, royalties, digital businesses, consulting or advising, even luxury assets that appreciate in value. Every stream is a form of financial armor. And here's the truth. It's not about greed, it's about resilience. Because if the only thing standing between you and disaster is a single paycheck, then Solomon would say, you're living on sand, not stone. So what can you do right now? Start small. Create a second stream of income, even if it only pays $50 a week. Invest in knowledge about new markets. Build skills that can be monetized in multiple ways. Solomon diversified because he understood life is unpredictable, but preparation turns chaos into opportunity. Warning 6. Delaying action. He who watches the wind will never sow. That verse is piercing because it's still true today. How many people do you know who are waiting for the right time to start a business, to invest, to change careers? How many say things like, I'll start when I have more money. I just need to finish this one thing first. Maybe next year will be better. Meanwhile, years go by and they're still stuck, planning, dreaming, watching the wind. Solomon condemned procrastination because in waiting for perfect conditions, people let good conditions pass them by. They never plant the seeds, so they never see the harvest. The rich, they understand this instinctively. They don't wait for the economy, the news, or their emotions to line up. They move. Even if it's a small move, they move. And that's the message for you today. You don't need to take a giant leap, but you do need to step. Create the business, open the account, make the call, take the course, do something that disrupts the cycle of waiting, because you can't escape poverty with thoughts, only with action. So now you've heard the 6 warnings. 1. Ignoring the value of wisdom. 2. Loving money more than purpose. 3. Trusting in wealth instead of discipline. 4. Ignoring generational legacy. 5. Failing to diversify. 6. Delaying action. They are not just quotes from ancient scripture. They are diagnoses, warnings from the most financially successful man to ever walk the earth. And the uncomfortable truth? Most people ignore all 6 and then wonder why they stay broke, anxious, or stuck. But you don't have to. You can choose to respond, to take just one of these warnings and begin applying it today. So I'll leave you with this question. Which one hit you the hardest? Let me know in the comments, not just for me, but for you. Because once you say it, you're accountable to it. And if this resonated with you, if Solomon's wisdom opens your eyes, then don't let it be a moment. Let it be a turning point. Subscribe, come back for more, because there's more wisdom, dangerous, powerful, timeless wisdom, waiting to be uncovered, and it just might be the thing that changes everything.